Donna, how you doing today? Hope you're doing good. I had a pretty good day today. I had to go get groceries today, so that's what we did. We went to the big town of Marksville and got some groceries. Went to Walmart and we hit Harbor Freight also. We found some pretty neat stuff there. I found some lights there, like emergency lights. That was pretty decent. Jack. Okay. And how you like my birds in the background? It's actually a scene from Holly Beach when we went a while back, like several years ago, actually. I'll try to put my invitation on here in case anybody does want to go on. So let me set that up. Yeah, I had some different ones to choose from, and I just decided to go with that one. You've never been to Holly Beach? Really? Well, I guess I'm thinking about that time that we had went to Grand Isle when you was with us, me and you and Wanda and David, and I don't remember who all went, but I remember Wanda had got a really bad sunburn. We had went crabbing. I guess it wasn't Holly Beach. For some reason I was thinking it was, but I guess it wasn't. But you remember that when Wanda had got that bad sunburn? It was Grand Isle. Okay. All right. Well, we had a good time until that happened. Ooh, that was rough. They had all those alligators out there. And Holly Beach is the same way. When you go out there, there's the road going in. It has it has a bunch of different places, just like that place we had went to by Grand Isle. There's a bunch of little bridges and stuff you can stop and crab. And it's the people there do it basically the same way. You just bring some kind of, usually everybody I ever went with brought some kind of raw chicken and tied it to a string and threw it out there in the water, and you just slowly pull it in with your hands. Oh yeah, it was a bad sunburn. We'll try to angle this thing down a little bit. Got a touch screen, not touch something. Okay. But yeah, she had got a real bad sunscreen, a real bad sunburn, and her skin bubbled up. It was pretty bad for sure. But me and Errol, we went several times. We brought Josh and we brought Aaron. You know, different times we went, we brought different people. One time we went, we had brought Drake, and one time Errol had went and he brought Josh and some of his friends. We went to Holly Beach several times. The first time we had went with a friend of his that he had went to trade school with electricity. That, you know, he had went to trade school for that, and we went with a guy that he had met over there, and because that guy, his family had a camp over there at Holly Beach. That was back before the hurricanes hit it, and it was, you know, all the old camps and everything. It was a whole town. There were streets and there was bars and a grocery store, and you could buy ice, and they had a little store kind of like what Vidrines was, I guess, and you could go and buy all whatever you needed really, but it was just a little store. It wasn't like no big Walmart or anything. And the camps were old, very old camps. And I brought my video camera down there, but the humidity was just so bad. The camera kept shutting off, so I didn't get very much footage because it was an old time camera. You know, it wasn't, I don't know how a phone would do. It probably would do a lot better filming down there. But back then, all I had was kind of like a VHS type recorder, and it kept shutting off. It didn't like the humidity down there. And it was a lot of heat and humidity and sand, and just wasn't good conditions for electronics at all. But it was a lot of people out there. I mean, all the camps was full, and even at night there was a lot of people out on the beach, and you could drive out there on the beach at night, which wasn't a good idea actually, because you could get stuck very easy in that sand. And there was some people that lived out there, some young boys, and they had a 4-wheel drive, and they would patrol the beach at night waiting for somebody to get stuck, and they would pull them out for a fee, which thank goodness, because we was one of them who got stuck. And I was glad that somebody was there and able to pull us out. And that was when my truck was brand new. I was freaking out. But, you know, when you're young and dumb, you do some stuff. Port Fourchon. Yeah, that's where we had went when I went with y'all rather. I guess maybe Phil was living out there. I was saying that we had got stuck on the beach out there. My truck got stuck out there. It was when my truck was brand new on that beach behind me that you looking at. Except for it was at night and there was people everywhere. I wasn't in the water, but it was, I guess I was close enough to it that I got stuck. Not used to driving on sand. And I didn't have mud grips or anything like that, just had street tires. But there was a lot of people out there, and they was all having fun. A lot of fun. But you know, after the hurricane passed, yeah, I was tripping out, girl, big time, because we didn't know anybody out there except for that guy that we had went with. And so we was at the mercy of others for sure. And like I said, there was a guy it was some young guys out there. They had a 4-wheel drive, and they would patrol that beach and waiting for people to get stuck, because evidently it happened pretty often. I think the guy was running a business doing that. Hey, Puddin' Tang, glad to see you. Glad you came in. I was looking for you. You know, when that hurricane came through and that was on the news, and it was showing how it had just completely destroyed Holly Beach. It was so weird, you know. It really totally destroyed it. There was like nothing left out there. It wiped out that whole little town, and it was it was half decently big for it to have messed up so many structures. Well, Pudding said she had a good day. How about you, Donna? How was your day? I had a good day myself. All the way through, it was a good day. I can't complain. Was able to get my groceries. Oh, really? I didn't know Henry's dad. I thought he had one out there, but I didn't know that it had got wiped out. You call seagulls beach chickens? They're something else. If they notice you have some food, they come down to you for it. You can just like tear some bread or anything really. It could be whatever kind of food you have and throw it up into the air and they will swoop down and catch it. They're scavengers. They definitely are combing the beach for anything somebody might have dropped. Oh, okay. You don't know which hurricane it was. Well, you know, back then it was some kind of poor looking camps, but now if you go out there, it's some mansions out there on that beach. It's kind of freaky when they come down at you, those seagulls. Really is. But all the camps out there now is like some mansions. They are built way up on stilts, and the insurance companies made it to where you can't insure anything out there unless you have a whole lot of money. So that's the only kind of camps that are out there now, is some pretty nice camps. You have to have some money to build out there nowadays. It's only a couple of people that are the originals. You can wash it off quickly if they do mess on you, them seagulls, get you right by the water. I never had that happen to me though. I just don't like how they swoop down on you. They're like aggressive. And they don't just stay there all day. It's like every now and then they come close and they're looking for something to eat. A lot of them out there. It's just a totally different feeling on the beach than at home, than sitting outside at home. You can hear the water. It's very loud. It blocks out the sounds of anything else. Oh yeah. That is crazy. That I wouldn't ever try to build nothing out there. Now, you can still go and stay out there. There's a guy out there that has some campers. He's got a house there. It's a beach house, but he actually lives in Lafayette. But he stays out there sometimes, like during the summer when he can rent his campers. He has some campers out there that he rents. And that way, if there's a hurricane, he can hook his campers up and pull them out of there. Yeah, the insurance is probably very expensive. His place is called the Cajun Riviera, and it's just some campers that he's pulled out there and he rents them out. So people like us want to go and just spend the weekend or a week or however long. You can call in advance and get you a camper and stay out there for as long as you can get him to rent it for you. The rent's not that bad on them per night. I guess it's kind of like what you would pay for a hotel, but there's no hotels out there. So if you would want to go, the camper would be the best thing. Just get you a camper, and it's right there on the beach almost. It's driving distance. You get in your little, it's walking distance actually, but you could drive if you wanted to. He's got a swimming pool on the side of his house. I don't believe he goes swimming out there in the ocean. He got a swimming pool there. And then there's another guy that's still there, and his name is Mo. And he's got, you can buy ice from him, and you can buy shrimp from him. The shrimpers will go in and they sell shrimp to him and crabs. So if you wanted to, while you out there, if you wanted to cook some of that stuff, you could go to Mr. Mo's house and buy some of that stuff from him. And there's no trees growing out there. If you see a tree out there, it looks horrible because they just can't hardly grow out there in that environment. The other thing I can tell you about being out there is the mosquitoes at night are terrible. During the day, you don't see them, but at night when it starts getting dark, they just start dive bombing you, and it's they hurt worse than the mosquitoes here. They are very painful. I don't know how people deal with living over there. I wouldn't want to live there at all. Now, just being on the beach during the day, for a few days is enjoyable, but I wouldn't want to stay out there longer than that. And I don't like the drive up there either. You got to go through Lake Charles, and they got this big old bridge. It's very old and tall and steep and narrow. And, I don't like that. Miss E does not like driving over bridges at all. And I don't like driving on I-10, which you got to drive on I-10 to get down there. And the people drive on that like they insane. So I don't like being on I-10 at all. There are several lanes of traffic, and people drive way too fast on it for what I'm used to. And I mean, just zooming by you, cutting in and out. I'm not used to that. I don't like that. So to me, just the drive up there really is what deters me from making that trip. It probably is the same guy, I'm sure, because he's been out there for years. Like I said, he was out there before the hurricanes came. He just went on ahead and rebuilt him a little place out there, and he's still out there. He's like only him and that other guy that has that Cajun Riviera. Now, there might be some other ones that I didn't associate with, but there wasn't that many camps out there. Those big fancy camps, there wasn't many of those out there. I did run into somebody from town that I knew out there, Joella Taglarino and her husband. So that's not her last name anymore. But her and her husband was out there one of the last times we went, and they was in one of those nice camps. Well, once you make it out there, it's okay. No, as long as you know it ain't a hurricane coming, and you're not going to go out there at that time. I guess he is old. I'm not really sure, to tell you the truth. Every time we ever went by his place, I only seen his wife. So I guess he may do some shrimping and crabbing himself. Very possible. Doc would get that stuff from them, I'm sure, because it wasn't It seemed like before the hurricanes, it was him and another person who had did that, sold stuff like that. But Mo, that he been there forever. And I don't know if he's even still there. The last time we went, that was years ago. He's probably napping. Well, Pudding, I want to tell you, I've been listening to K-Bon. I was listening to that today and I was thinking about you. We got to go get Mr. E's truck. The air conditioning been broken in it. And finally he was able to go and get it today. And on the way back, I was flipping through the radio stations and I landed on K-Bon and it was some Cajun music with accordions and harmonicas, and they was getting down. I'll listen to it sometime when I'm in my office, but really I don't listen to the radio that much at all anymore. On Saturday morning is the French music. When Errol's mom and dad when Errol's mom's mom and dad was still alive and we would go and visit them on Saturday morning, that's what they would have playing, that French music. So I know it had to be K-Bon. That was like their little thing. Every time we would go on Saturday morning, they had their little radio on and that's what was playing, that French music. And it's very different. Reminds you of being a kid. Put all that together of where you grew up at. So you have to remind me on that part. Because I said, well, she likes this French music. And yeah, Mama would like that channel. And Pudding said you can get it on the computer. So you don't even have to turn a radio on to listen to it. And I did listen to it on my computer before. Every house in Biloxi had that French music playing. Well, I'll be darned. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You wasn't raised in Louisiana. It was Biloxi. Am I right? Yeah, we'll have to tell Mama about K-Bon and get her hooked up with it on her computer where she can just turn it on and listen to it like that, especially on Saturdays when it's that French music. But during the week, they have a lot of Cajun music with like I was saying, the accordions and harmonicas and all that kind of stuff. It's out of Eunice, I think. Lots of Cajun folk in Biloxi. Yep, raised in Biloxi. All right, I thought so. I didn't realize there was so many Cajun folks in Biloxi. I would have never thought that until you told me that. So that's kind of good. It's neat to know. I've been putting some different colors in my hair, y'all, trying to grow out this brown that I have colored in here. And it's taken a while. It's going through several different boxes of different kinds of colors to try to get it to blend. In the 60s and 70s. It may still be like that. Who knows? Things do change with time, though, that's for sure. I was trying to look up some good news. I don't know if she would like the Cajun music, but definitely the French music. She could sing along. Yeah. Oh, you like the color of my hair, Pudding? Well, thank you. I'm having a hard time getting used to it. I had brown hair for so long. I'm used to that contrast of the dark hair across my face, and with this light hair across my face, I'm just having a hard time getting used to it. Cut a bunch of it off this week. I actually cut it myself. I would hold it up like this and cut whack, 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 because it still had a lot of brown on the ends of it. And I was putting, what did I put? Oh, yeah, I put like a platinum blonde in it because it has a lightener in it. But as you can see, it is not platinum blonde. It is more like platinum silver. And then I didn't come back and tone it like I was supposed to. Yeah, it's beginning to blend together. I have a box of metallic gray, and I cut a little section of it today and did like a pre-test on it. And I like that color, so I might end up putting that in next. Mama said I better quit putting all that stuff on my hair, or one day I'm gonna remove the towel and have a cue ball. But it's still in pretty good shape, so I want to try that metallic one bad. You gonna fix me up? Yeah. He likes it. Today, when we was going to town, I had my sunglasses on like this because I really like to wear my hair up, up, up all the time because I can't stand it to be in my eyes. So I had it kind of like this, I guess, with my sunglasses because I have to have my sunglasses. And he said it looked good. And I looked at him kind of funny, and he said, "Why are you looking at me like that?" And I said, "Because I'm having a hard time getting used to it." And he said, "Well, you think I would lie to you?" And I said, "Well, no." But he said he liked it. His mom is starting to let hers go gray like that. And she had hers colored, for years. And I always liked it. A burgundy color. Oh, I seen some pretty ones because I look at them at Walmart when I go look at the colors. And they had some by Feria or something like that. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but they had some reds, and one of them was like a dark cherry red. Ooh, it was so pretty. And then they had like the violet reds. Those are pretty too. But then I was like, I don't know if I want to start in on all that because it's such a dark color. When my natural color comes out, I'll be fighting it again, just like I was with the browns. So I'm trying to convince myself just to keep it the silver and maybe do like a more metallic silver over it. You always chicken out. I know, me too, so bad. Your hair would do good though, because you have the brown hair. So if you would put the reds over it, it would do good. Because the ones I looked at, you know how like on the box, it shows you like the color your hair is and then what it would look like with the box color over it. For those reds, it showed to start with brown hair for the best results. So those would do well on your hair. They're very pretty. There's a woman that goes to Miss Linda's that does her hair red, and she's been doing her hair red for years and years. And it's a very pretty red. And I know that woman has gray hair, but that red does very good on her hair. They've mixed it up. I don't know what they're mixing over there, but it's coming out good. You dyed the ends for a while. What color did you dye the ends? Because I seen some people would dye the ends when their hair was start going gray. They would dye the ends like this purple color, and it was pretty. It looked really good. but it came out like a dark purple. You know, it wasn't like a light purple. It was like a dark purple. I just hate to keep dyeing it over and over, you know. I hate to see when them light roots come out when you have dark hair. And then I would neglect mine because I didn't want to keep dyeing it all the time. All the crazy colors, purple one time, blue. Yeah. And you never can tell what color you gonna get, really, when you start with those crazy colors, like you say. You don't know how it's going to react on your hair. A lot of times they react better on blondes. Yeah, I was thinking about trying the purple ends, the dark purple ends. I was thinking about doing that because I seen a woman had did that and it was so pretty. And she had used this, she didn't really use a box dye though. Yeah, it would go with my skin tone. I think so too. She used some kind of, I think it was called Arctic Fox, because that stuff, it comes in a lot of different colors. And you don't have to add anything to it. It's just what's in the bottle. You put it on and you just let it sit for a certain amount of time and then you rinse it out. And that's what she had used, and it looked really good. Looked really good. I did like now when my hair was first starting to grow out and I was letting it grow out. Oh yeah, if you put it on the bottom, you can cut it off. I heard that if you don't like it. I think it is. No, it's not permanent. But I mean, it stays a while. You have to wash it several times, I believe, before it starts coming out. And you can just put it back on whenever you get ready because it's not permanent. You know, it's not as damaging as a permanent hair color would be. So you could reapply it, is my thinking on it anyway. You could reapply it before the 4 weeks like you normally would do with a permanent color. You would want to wait 4 weeks with a permanent color. It stays for a long time, Pudding Thing says, and it lightens up. Is that what you use, Pudding Thing? Did you use the Arctic Fox? That stuff I'm talking about? Oh, and by the way, Donna, I got a green screen, like they call it, which is just a green piece of fabric behind me, and it's making my picture come out a lot better. I paid like $7 for it on Amazon, and it was delivered the next day. I couldn't believe it. That is the first time I had anything delivered the next day from Amazon Prime, because I have Amazon Prime. And when I first got Amazon Prime, it was before 2020. We all know what happened then. But it was before 2020 when I got my Amazon Prime, and they would deliver the next day or 2 days after that. And after 2020, that it was like that never happened again until just this past week when I ordered this green screen. I couldn't believe it. It's like things is taken 5 years to get back to normal, if it ever will. Yeah, it stands out better. It don't have so much blur, you know, when you use this green screen. And it ain't nothing but a piece of fabric that I got hanging up behind me. And then I downloaded this picture that I had on my computer from years ago. What I used to do is I would get, wait, hold on, the stuff from Walmart. Okay. All right. So it might have not been the Arctic Fox, because that Arctic Fox, I had ordered that on Amazon. I don't think I've seen that Arctic Fox at Walmart. And all Walmarts have different stuff. Yours might have it and mine might not. But I used to put all my pictures on my computer. Like, I would take the cord out of my camera and put it, see if I can show y'all this thing, if it'll pick it up. Not you see this thing? You can put your cards in it from your cameras, like this one. See that? You can put that in there and hook it to your computer, and you can get those pictures right onto your computer like that. What you can do it with your phone too. You can hook your phone to that thing also and import your pictures onto your computer. And then when you want to use them for back screens and or make videos or anything, that's the way I do it. Yes, it's a lot more sharp and clear. It definitely is. So I'm well pleased with that, for sure. I'm yawning. I took a little nap today, and if I can just like actually fall asleep, even if I sleep for 5 minutes, I feel refreshed. And I think that's what happened today. You're gonna get you one. It's very easy, and I don't know if you noticed how I have mine hanging in here, but all I have is a clothesline that I bought from probably the Dollar Tree. It's just a cord, and I use some, I think I have some, what do I have? I have some coffee cup hooks or something like that on the wall, running that string across from one side of the room to the other. And then I have this, whatever background I have, I just clothespin it on that string behind me. And very basic, y'all. I'm a very basic kind of person. It just needs to function. That's it. It's been raining here, Pudding Train says, and the rain makes me sleepy. Well, yeah, but it hadn't been raining here. Yeah, it does work very well. Very easy. So when I get through, I just unclamp it, fold it up, and put it away, and then I have my workspace again. Because it's only like I'm touching it, it's like right there. Right behind my head, yo. I have like maybe a foot between me and it. Now that's the real thing, people. I gotta start making some more videos, y'all. I had kind of like not been inspired, I guess. But I'm gonna try to make some. It's hard to stay inspired, I guess. But I do have ideas and stuff I want to do, and just to grab the camera and video it, I mowed a bunch of grass yesterday, which nobody wants to see me mowing the grass, I'm pretty sure. But I do have an area that I need to work on where the garden hose is. I might do a video on that because the grass is kind of tall there. It needs some work. You'd be able to see some progress if I did that area. It's nice to have see some progress actually being done when you watch a video. I was so sad to hear about your mama chicken and her babies. Oh, man. Me too. Because she had worked so hard. I mean, she went up in that attic and hatched them babies in all that heat. And, well, something got her. Which brings me to one of the stories that I had printed out. Let's see if I can find it. I think this might be it. Okay. This is a story that has to do with the band AC/DC. Oh, you didn't watch the video yet? That kind of stuff happens sometime on a farm, y'all. You just can't protect everything all the time. Things happen, and They can't be avoided sometimes. Errol had went out one morning and he came back and he said, I can't believe it. He said, there's white feathers all over, and it was that mama hen that had them babies, but the babies was still there. So she died protecting her babies, evidently. She probably called to them to go and hide out, is all I can figure, is how they survived. And we didn't find the mama hen. We just know that she was missing, and we found her feathers, and we noticed that the babies wasn't with their mama. So we put 2 and 2 together and realized that that's what had happened. But there was another mama hen here, and Errol said that he noticed that she had been broody. That's what we call it when we see they want to lay eggs and stay on the eggs. They want to sit on them until they hatch. Well, when they start acting like that, we call it broody. And he noticed that she was being broody, and instead of doing that, she decided to take them to little babies that was left behind. And she stays with them, she protects them, she brings them up on the roost at night. And I've had that happen before, where a chicken would take other chicks that didn't belong to her, or I've had a dog take on another dog that didn't belong to it when she had puppies. And I even had a dog take a lamb one time, and the lamb nursed on the dog. So that was very unusual. You see some weird stuff when you have a farm, some good, some bad. But back to this thing with AC/DC, y'all, because I was looking up some good news to give y'all. And this is one of the stories that caught my attention. We have hawks all around where we live, and we have a bear lately who turns over the trash cans, and it's happening very regularly. So I am careful going out at night. Oh, I know, y'all. We didn't have a lot of different animals around here either, and they are being brought back in because they were once here, and they cause problems. They do cause a lot of problems. And it's kind of like this story. Let me just read it to you. It's not that long. It says, from Wyoming and Oregon comes a story most bizarre. Scarlett Johansson's voice being used to frighten away wolves. Famed for their emotional intelligence, the gray wolf population around Greater Yellowstone are obviously not adept enough to detect acting when they hear it, as it was a scene from Johansson's film Marriage Story that has them spooked. And I looked at it. It's this it's something from Netflix, I think, this show they're talking about, where these people it's a scene where they're arguing. A couple is arguing, and evidently they're playing this from a drone, and it's scaring away these wolves. Ever since gray wolves were reintroduced, like I was saying, to Yellowstone National Park, farmers have had to deal with attacks on their livestock. Some were seeing double-digit losses of cattle in a single month. They are protected and cannot be fired upon. So according to multiple reports, farmers are using drones to pass over their land playing AC/DC music and the aforementioned Johansson film. Most could probably understand how hell's bells could scare away an animal, but biologists have noted that wolves, for whatever reason, find the sounds of humans arguing disturbing enough to be deterred by them. I need the wolves to respond and know that, hey, humans are bad. The aptly named Paul Wolf, a USDA district supervisor in Oregon, told the Wall Street Journal, who first confirmed that Johansson's voice from that particular film clip was being played by drones. And Euronews reports that the drones in their broadcast have worked dramatically to lessen predators, with one monitoring period, seen wolf attack numbers fall from 11 in 10 days to just 2 in 85 days. So that is huge. That is a huge difference, going from 11 attacks in 20 days to just 2 in 85 days. So maybe we'll be introducing a little AC/DC to the pastures. It sounds like it's very effective, and it works. Yeah, it works. That's pretty amazing. I thought that was a very good story, especially, because of my last video. I have the flashing lights. You can put these flashing lights that look like eyes. Look, Old Man King Homestead. Hey, good evening, Peter. How are you this evening? I don't know if you just heard what I was saying, but some people are using AC/DC music to deter predators from attacking their livestock, or the sounds of humans arguing. There was a clip from a film called The Johansons on Netflix that people are using to deter predators. Very, very interesting. I'll have some of those CDs. I would need to put it on a where it would keep going, though. I don't want the CD to just stop. I would want it to keep going all night. Might drive all the animals nuts. I don't know, but it might keep some predators away. That would be interesting. The cops come and you have loud music and you're like, no, I can't turn it off. I'm deterring the predators. Oh, yeah. Well, I hadn't thought of that. Well, I'm not that computer savvy or whatever. You have to come set that up for me, Donna. A weatherproof Bluetooth speaker. You know what? I think I might have one. Yes, I have heard that talk radio works also. And I had got a radio and put it out there, but it didn't last long. The weather got to it, It's like Donna said, maybe try one of them weatherproof speakers and put it out there. I would like to have something that doesn't work on my Wi-Fi, though. I don't like to my internet's so skimpy I can't spare much of it, so I need something that don't pull from it. So if you know something that would work like that. But Bluetooth isn't necessarily Wi-Fi, is it? Bluetooth doesn't necessarily pull internet, does it? You might could get it to work off of something else. I don't know. Like I said, I had those little flashing lights out there, and it's supposed to be a deterrent, but where they got that mama hen, it was right in front of those lights. But those lights had been there for probably a month or two already. And, predators, they come out hunting often, and they see something. It might scare them the first couple of times, but if they see something like that is there all the time, they catch on to it not being a danger to them. And I think that's what happened there. I need to move those things around, not just leave them in the same place. That is definitely something to think about. And you don't have to have Wi-Fi to use Bluetooth. Well, how would you pull music? I guess you could like create a playlist maybe. And that way it would already be downloaded and you could just, oh, a memory card. Okay. Okay. So that same thing I was showing y'all a while ago, I could use. Oh yeah, Peter just got the fiber optic. Well, go Peter. I don't think that's even available to me. That would be so awesome. And I see that you're not having to worry about pulling too much Wi-Fi either on it. I bet you do love it. I would too. If they ever run it back here in the boondocks for us, I would like to get it. See them running lines all over all the time. I guess eventually it'll get out here. Slow going out here. Takes a while to get any kind of civilization out here where I live. I seen they had a recall on some kind of soaps, y'all. It's called the Dermaclean, which is an over-the-counter antiseptic lotion with vitamin E, indicated for washing to decrease bacteria on skin. And it actually has a potentially deadly bacteria in it. That's why it's being recalled. It says the bacteria in question can spread into the bloodstream through cuts and cause life-threatening sepsis, particularly in immunocompromised individuals. So it's the Dermaclean, the Dermacera, the Clean Foam, and the Perigene. So if y'all use any of those, I don't think it causes a whole lot of risk to a person with a good immune system, but a lot of these products are used for caregivers of people with immune compromise. What did I say a while ago? With a compromised immune system. So if you taking care of somebody like that, or you are somebody like that and use some of these products, you might want to set them off to the side and look into it. It's the Dermaclean, the Dermacera, the Clean Foam, and the Perigene. Okay, let's see. Donna says his responses are quick. He would beat all of us if we were playing a game. He would beat all of us. Yeah, exactly. Look, here he's got another response. I signed up the week they opened up for signups. There are a lot of farms around here that depend on internet, so that helped this area get it. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we live in a pretty dead area right here because I hadn't even heard no talk about no fiber optics out here. If there is some, I hadn't heard anything about it. I live in a very rural area. This ain't much going on out here. I mean, there's some population out here. Yes, there is. And it'll probably be out here before long, but it ain't out here now. Yeah, that's awesome for you. I'm glad you was able to get it. And I like that StreamYard you've been using. Peter got a live that he does on Sunday evening. Old Man King's homestead. And he's been using StreamYard too, but it's the pay version. He had got it on sale for half off, which I didn't take advantage of it. I guess I should have, but I like the way his is. He's got his little emblem at the top, like where you're seeing powered by StreamYard on mine. His has his Old Man King homestead written on his. And also you can see everybody's comments. Like if you're on your TV, that would be helpful. Because I know like Mom's, she watches on her TV. She don't watch on the computer. When you watch on the computer, you can see all everybody's comments. But when you watch it on TV, you can't see them unless you're using that StreamYard like he uses. It's more of an advanced option or something like that. Peter got a little farm and a little project. He'd been building his house. I know. You see, and they offered that to me a couple of weeks ago. I think the offer ended on the 6th or 7th, something like that. And I just didn't take advantage of it. I figured I could get by without it. They probably have sales on that kind of stuff from time to time. They send me messages all the time, so I figure if they have one, they'll let me know. But yeah, that's what I wonder, if they have that sale throughout the year at different times. If they do, they gonna let me know, I guarantee you, because they have sent me several messages. And that's like that roundhouse kick. I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about. I know Donna does because she uses that stuff. And I signed up for the notifications on that, and they like to drove me bananas. I had to finally stop my subscription on it. For Black Friday, they had a good one last year. I have to sneeze, y'all. Excuse me. So Black Friday, that's the day after Thanksgiving. You see, that's not really that far from now, actually. I have to keep an eye open for it. All businesses are looking to make $1 toward the end of the year so that they can cut even or have some write-offs or whatever they do. Thank you. Thank y'all. A sneeze, you can't stop it. When it's ready to happen, you have to sneeze. I had got one of those little grabbers. You know what I'm talking about? It's like it's like on an extension pole, and it has a little grabber on one end, and it has a little thing you pull on at one end, and the other side grabs. Well, I guess it's about 3 foot long or whatever. And I definitely did use it today. And I was like, well, I can make a video with that because I had thrown some scraps over the fence. Anytime I have scraps, I went and I go and throw them to the chickens. I save all my scraps. I have a little scrap bucket on the countertop, and I don't ever throw any scraps in the trash can unless it's like chicken bones, because I'm deathly afraid to throw that outside to my dogs. But anything else, either the dogs or the chickens get. And I was cleaning the ice box out today, the refrigerator, and I had come across 2 cobs of corn that was in there, and they had been in there for a couple of weeks. And so I didn't want to chance it. And I said, I'll just throw them to the chickens. and they was in a Ziploc, and I had some other stuff, and my scrap bucket was full. So I went out there with the scrap bucket and my little Ziploc, and when I went to dump the bag out, the whole bag, everything fell over the other side of the fence. And it's not that big of a deal to go around the fence, but it's like got some tall weeds in there and everything, and I didn't really want to do that. And I thought about that grabber. So I got that and I went out there, and I reached over the fence and it picked it right up. I pulled it over, and it worked real good. And so I videoed it. I was like, well, why not make a video about this? For a radio station, they told us 1/3 of the money a business makes for the year is during Christmas season. That's a lot. So after I picked up that Ziploc with that, and I had my camera and everything, I was like, well, what else can I use this for? And I got to thinking about, I have a storage area where that hen had hatched them babies at a while back, but in the downstairs, and where I keep some of my nails because I sell nails. I have them in there in sealed boxes, okay? But I had pulled one of the boxes forward, and there was a snake skin back there. And I did not want to reach in there. So I thought about that grabber, and I used it to pull that skin out of there. And it was, I don't know, I didn't measure it, but it looked like it was a good 5 or 6 feet long. It was long. It's still out there. I need to measure it, and y'all can see what I'm talking about. But and the whole skin didn't come out, so that wasn't all of it. But that was what we call a chicken snake. What they do a lot of times is they do eat mice now. They are good for something. They do eat mice. But they are bad for something too. They will get in your chicken's nest and eat the eggs. And it's not fun to reach in there if you're not paying attention and grab a chicken snake. And I actually had that happen to my sister-in-law one time. It was a dark nest, and she reached in there, and it was a chicken snake in there, and it bit her, and it made her sick. It sure did. It made her very sick. I just looked up StreamYard's upcoming deals, and it looks like Cyber Week, late November, early December, like $10 essential plans and annual plan discounts. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Yeah, because the plans I looked at, there wasn't nothing with no $10. I can promise you that. They was high. But like Peter said, that's the end of the year, for the Christmas season. That's when companies make their money. 1/3, he says, of the money a business makes for a year is during the Christmas season. I totally believe that. And I'll tell you what else. The worst month that I've experienced for sales is in July. I don't know if it's because the kids are off for summer and parents just don't have the extra money to spend or what, but July is always a bad month. And you see a lot of, what do they call it? Christmas in summer or something like that. Sales. You too, Donna? So I didn't print anything else, to tell y'all about. I had got that after me and Errol had went and picked his truck up this evening, which I don't think the air conditioner is really still fixed. I still don't think it's really fixed because the man had to recharge what you call that, Freon in it. But it's like, I don't know, something weird going on with that air conditioning system in that Dodge. It seems like it ain't blowing. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can hear it blowing, but there's nothing coming out of the vents. Hey, Michelle, how you doing, girl? Better late than never. So, I mean, that's the second time he brought that truck in to get the air conditioner fixed. The first time, the man had recharged it. It worked good for a long time. And then it was back to doing the same thing. So he brought it back to him. And it's like one of those things that's hard to figure out for some reason. And then after a while, Errol was just like, look, I want to get my truck because I had told him, I said, we was going to maybe go fishing this week. He wanted to go fishing because he'd just been working. And he's workaholic. He really is. He works. That's what he loves to do, is work as much as he can. And he has a hard time taking time for himself to just enjoy stuff. Hey, Wanda. It's good to see you. I'm glad you came in. I met Wanda on Peter's Live. So it's good to have you in, Wanda. The other people you see in here, Donna is my sister, Michelle is my niece, and of course, you know Peter. And then Puddentang is a friend of mine that's been a viewer of mine for a long time, and she lives in Florida. Michelle calls Donna Nanny. So if you're wondering who she's referring to. So anyway, we was going to go fishing this week. And then he didn't have his truck. And then I had told him, I said, I want to go to Sandy and Donna's. I want to go every day, one day every week until Sandy moves. Sandy's one of my other sisters, and she's moving away from us. She's going up to Georgia to be with her kids, Michelle, and Michelle is Sandy's daughter, and she has a son there too, Brady. She's going up there to be with them. And I told Errol, I said, I want to go and spend some time with Sandy at least one day every week before she leaves. And we had already went grocery shopping this week, which I know that don't sound like much, but I live out in the boondocks, y'all. So it's like, it's a big deal, okay, just to go grocery shopping. It takes a good, chunk of the day to go and do that. And then if we would have went fishing this week, that would have taken another day. And then I would have gone, to go see Sandy. That would have taken another day. And then I usually babysit a couple days a week also. So my week was like totally booked. And when I told him I wanted to go back and see Sandy, he said, well, he didn't have his truck at that time. And he's got another little truck here, but it's not that dependable to go very far in. And I said, well, we need to get that little truck fixed so you can go when something like this comes up. And he said, well, I don't really need to go. It's too hot. Just like Donna said, it's too hot. And he said, I might not catch. And he looked at the calendar because he looks at all that to see if the fishing's going to be good or not. He said, this week's really not a good week for it. I'll just wait and go next week. But I could tell he wanted to go, and he really needed to go just for, like therapy, to get away from work and go do something relaxing. And then he said, well, no, just go on ahead, because he would have had to use my truck if he would have went fishing. And then I needed my truck to go see Sandy. But he was like, no, you go on ahead and see her. But it all worked out because he ended up getting his truck back today. And now he can go do his fishing, and I can still go see Sandy. And but I have to call her and find out when's a good day for her. I hadn't done that yet. Too hot to fish. I would literally melt, Donna says. Yeah, it is. It's hot. And out there where he's talking about going, there's no shade trees. I'm looking for a shade tree when this hot weather we're having. If I have to be outside, I want a shade tree nearby. There's nothing like the shade of a tree. It is different than a barn or a shed. A tree is totally different. And there is none out there. Yeah, you could take an umbrella. It's I guess you would call it a lock and dam. It's out there past Saline. I'm not sure where, what town it's in, even though I've been to it before, because it's in the middle of nowhere. It's not really in a town. But we did a video. We had went out there before. Oh yeah. And we want to go back to Spring Bayou, but that place gets very low. The water gets very low this time of year. And it's kind of scary to go out there in a boat at this time of year because you just, it's not good to bottom out in your boat. So we'll probably wait till the rains come back and the water comes up over there to go back there. But I loved it over there. To me, it was more pretty there than it was in Saline. Now, Saline has deeper water. So now would be a better time to go there. But that's not where he's talking about going. Where he's talking about going, he doesn't bring a boat. He just fishes right there by the dam. Sometimes you catch a lot of fish out there where he's talking about going. But it's kind of hit and miss. Usually we would go in the springtime when the shad dippers are out there. And the water is rough, but it's cooler too. I don't mind going as much at that time because it's cooler. But it's just concrete. There is a restroom out there. That's one good thing. But you have to walk way up a hill to get to it. And it's like the kind of restroom you'd come across in a state park or something like that. And it is very much monitored, the fishing there. There's always game wardens, I guess, out there checking people and making sure that everybody's doing everything right. There's some big rocks out there too. It's dangerous to walk in there. It ain't for an unsteady person. You need to be able to have some strong legs and be able to handle yourself on those big rocks out there because they are unforgiving. Do y'all go fishing anywhere up there, Michelle? Michelle's in Georgia. See, Michelle's talking about rivers up there. She can't wait to show those to her mom. It's some beautiful country up there. Do y'all go fishing up there? And what kind of fish would y'all catch? Is there trout there? I was watching somebody do a video the other day and they was catching trout. I don't guess they was in Georgia. I really don't know. Oh, a little lake at the end of your road. That's cool. Trout in these rivers. Oh, trout are pretty and they come in different colors. They have which we don't have that around here. They come in different colors, like the rainbow trout and they have like some brown looking trout, and then there's another kind too, I think. There's probably all different kinds. Like I said, we don't have them around here, so I don't know that much about them. But I know the rainbow ones have like a pink and I guess rainbow colors on them. Very pretty. I bet they're good eating too. Errol would be fishing all the time over there, I guarantee you. He loves fishing. He always did since he was little. He loved to go fishing. He didn't have a whole lot of chance to go fishing when he was young. His grandma and grandpa had a pond there across the road from where he stayed, but it was nothing in it but them little old yellow catfish. You like to sit by the river and find the cool rocks, Michelle? Yeah, I bet there are some different rocks there. Donna would like that too. She likes the different little rocks and all that. Her and your mom painted all kind of little rocks, made different little designs on them, and they came out really pretty. We had a set of, somebody had did some, it was either Sandy or Donna. I think it was Donna maybe. They had did ceramics in school, and she had did those little ladybugs, and she painted 5 of them, and there was 5 of us in the family. So one of them represented Mom, Dad, Sandy, Donna, and me. And at one time there was a fire in the house, and the littlest ladybug got lost during that. The whole house didn't burn down. It was just something had flower arrangement had caught on fire somehow or another. That's pampas grass stuff, and it caught on fire, and I think a cigarette had caught it on fire. Actually, it was my sister and her boyfriend had come in late at night, and I think his cigarette brushed up against it and it caught it on fire. And I'm pretty sure he picked up the whole arrangement. It was like in this big old ceramic butter churn or something, this big arrangement. And he carried it outside, and somehow the little ladybug got lost. And I remember there was burns in the carpet that stayed there forever. But anyway, so the little ladybug was lost, and Donna ended up painting another one of those rocks that I was telling you she finds, and she had painted one and made another little ladybug. So now the set is complete again. Yeah, Lonnie, that's right. Kayaking and tubing. We have a lot of gemstones up here, a lot of amethyst and garnet. Oh my gosh. Oh man, that sounds like a lot of fun. Are you near Helen, Michelle? That was a neat little town over there in Georgia that I was able to visit, Helen. It's like visiting another country. It was so different, very different. But they had tubing there. I guess that's what's making me think about it. Had little carriage and horse rides, buggy rides. Definitely a tourist town. Big time. But I know it's about to be fall, and we have a corn maze and pumpkin patch 2 miles from our house down by the river. A lot of places do those corn mazes. They are cutting the corn here. When we went go get Errol's truck, I seen they was cutting some corn. The whole field down here is been cut and harvested. And when I came home from your mom's last week, I seen where they had cut a field out there. Been seeing some pretty crops, a lot of beans, beautiful bean crops this year, some of them. And sugar cane, some of the most beautiful sugar cane and beans that I've seen in a long time. I want to get some pictures of some of it before it dries up, because you know those beans, they let them dry up and then they harvest them. But there's some of them that they're just still very green and lush and beautiful. Some of those plants look like they're 3 feet tall, those bean plants. And them sugarcane plants, whoo, they look like they 12 feet tall. They're big. I want to get some videos of that cane burning. What I'm gonna have to do, bottle it for you and send it to you, a piece of burnt cane? That would actually probably work. When they start cutting and burning that stuff, it's everywhere. You see the particles of it in the air, the burnt pieces and the cane pieces all alongside the road. I heard that some manufacturers are going to be using a lot of cane. So there's probably going to be a lot more cane produced here in this state, maybe in other places too. Yes, ash raining down like a volcanic eruption. I had a cousin that had one of those cars that the top comes off a convertible and with white seats, and came down here when they was burning all those fields. Let me tell you, she wasn't too happy. I tell her, well, you can't come down here with no convertible with no white seats, girl, with the hood open on it, because it's not a good idea. Just don't do that. Live and learn. But yeah, that stuff's everywhere. It is like a volcanic eruption. But Josh had told me that some manufacturer was going to be using it. I don't remember which one it was, he said, but it was like a big name. I don't want to say it was Coca-Cola, but it was like a big company like that. Might have been. Oh, y'all, I'm getting tired. I'm about to hang it up. I'm glad y'all all came in and dropped by. I'm gonna do another one next Monday. The Lord's willing and the creek don't rise. If y'all don't mind hitting a thumbs up before you leave on the way out, that can help my channel. The comments, the thumbs up, all that stuff. And I'll try to do another one next Monday. I'll try to do some videos for y'all during the week. Try to tape just whatever I'm doing, I suppose. Glad I caught you too. Thanks, Peter, for stopping by, and Wanda and Michelle and Pudding Tang and Donna. It is Coca-Cola, Donna said. Uh-huh. All right, Wanda, Peter, Donna, Michelle, Pudding Tang. And Mom, I know you're out there watching. So good night. I love y'all. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.